That's funny. I'm working on a couple other films. We just finished a music promo. No. I just wrote a pop song about a year ago called Sid Yiddish thing. We just finished the film for that. How's it feel? I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet.
That's crazy. Riding the wave.
Yeah, we had, as of Sunday at 7 tonight, there's like 542 views of the film.
You'll get a bump here.
Yeah.
We're looking for 1.2 million after tonight.
Just Vimeo.com and then the number.
Yeah, that's the thing. Unfortunately,
we'll post it on the website.
That's about as good as it's going to get.
I feel okay. How have you been?
WGN supports the Pirates beat the Cubs today.
I've got a friend here who told me a quick story about you, that there's coffee all over the floor and you walked up to her and thought she spilled it.
When, yesterday?
Yeah, like a day or two ago. Yeah. And then she was like, it wasn't me. And she was like taking a picture of it.
I know exactly what I said to her, because I walked in about 2 hours earlier and said, Jesus Christ, who would fucking leave their coffee? And then I went up and I thought, I'll clean it later, because no one's in on weekends. It was yesterday. And so there's this nice girl here standing there. I go, look what some asshole
She said she was taking a picture of it.
She was? I said, look what some asshole did. That's all I said to her. To tell her I'm sorry if she felt I was accusing her.
I told her I was
that's so funny. Did she work here?
Yeah, she works up the Tribune, the video department.
Oh, tell her that was. I literally said to her, she was busy photographing. I literally said, look what some asshole did. Can you believe this?
Yeah, she thought you were accusing her.
Oh, please. When I accuse somebody of something, I'm much more forthright about it. I would have said, hey, clean this shit up.
Coffee.
I did eventually go back later when I left the building.
72% the barometer's falling. It's 66 at O'Hare and Midway, 73 in South Bend, 60 along Chicago's lakefront. Next news at 10:30 for breaking news. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at WGN Radio News. I'm Bob Kessler on Chicago's very own 720 WGN.
You actually don't need the headphones unless you want them, because I'm not taking any phone calls. Whatever you feel like.
All right. I like it. Puts me in radio world.
Yeah.
Welcome back to After Hours with me, Rick Kogan. One of my famous guests from the old morning show was Sid Yiddish. I wrote about Sid. Remember that piece I wrote about you, Sid?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. The only person I've seen Sid perform, and I told him after an event up at El Jardín, we did a thing together. We performed together in some kind of baseball-related thing, and Sid's act was so interesting that I told him, I said, Sid, I think you make Andy Kaufman look like Jack Benny. And you said, thank you, Rick. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. There is now a movie based on you. Do you feel, I just asked you 5 minutes ago, if you felt like a movie star and you don't know?
Yeah, I don't know, because it hasn't sunk in yet.
Well, the two filmmakers are also in the studio with me. They are Zach Mehrbach.
Yeah, that's a good pronunciation.
Close enough. He's the cinematographer, and Ryan Buckley directed and edited this film. What attracted? I can understand why you might have seen Sid and might make a movie of him. He's an entertainer. He was on America's Got Talent, which gives a film a kind of really big hook. What was it, Brian, that intrigued you?
Sure, I'll be honest. I actually never met Sid before I reached out to him and wanted him to be in the film. I just kind of found him randomly through happenstance online. I was posting in some forums. I had this documentary class, and I was looking for some sort of local Chicago face to make a film about, and someone suggested I look at Sid, so I started Googling him, and he's basically an internet superstar.
Well, and now he's smiling. Yeah, he may not be a movie star, but being an internet superstar is a thing. How did you approach him?
So I emailed him. I tried to absorb all of his work, that I could online. I saw him at America's Got Talent, looked up the tape, saw the whole show.
That actually provided a pretty interesting hook for you to this whole thing, right? He is a something of a Chicago legend, but the America's Got Talent thing gives it a different kind of edge. I'm not a filmmaker, but I'm just assuming.
No, I totally agree. And Sid's a performance artist, and I am totally sort of outside of that realm. But the fact that he brought it to America's Got Talent and already kind of found an audience, I thought it was easy to kind of jump on and kind of expand on that story and kind of tell what those guys
And
like
sort of and follow him too. I mean, what I love about the film, it's only 16 minutes or
Yeah.
about 16 minutes long, is it's got a real good narrative drive, I think. All right, Sid, when someone called you to say, "Hey, I want to make a movie about your life," what was your initial reaction?
Well, I got to tell you, when he emailed me, I thought he was emailing me for a different reason. I was, back in 2011, I was looking at Columbia College for grad school. And I thought he was like, oh, yeah, okay, like a student was going to talk to me about it. So that's really what I thought it was. And then I realized it wasn't, so.
And what did you think? Because you gave them great access. Courtney Crowder, the producer, will put the link to this Vimeo movie. There's no other way to get it, right? You have to do it. Well, Courtney will put the link on, and you can watch it yourselves.
I was really excited, but
were you at all reluctant, though? I mean,
No.
You gave them pretty good access.
no, not at all, because I really believe that my life is very public, and I do everything public, so my life is an open book.
Describe your life for the listeners. I know.
Well, currently, right now, I'm a third year grad student at Columbia. I've been
Studying what?
interdisciplinary media and arts. My thesis year is coming
Nice.
up this fall.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. It's
Congratulations.
Thank
I think
you.
that's good.
Thank you.
I think that's good.
Mostly, I do performance art. I do a lot of performance work. I throat sing. I tap dance. I play a lot of instruments. I conduct an improvising orchestra using physical hand gestures called the Candy Store Henchman.
When you three met, and Zach, I want you to get into this too, when you three first met to kind of plan out this thing, did you follow him around for a while? Did they follow?
Oh, yeah.
endlessly?
They
Too intrusively, right?
You know what? I told him not all events will not be the same. Is that right, Ryan? Is that what I told you?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's great about Sid is that he never said no to anything we had ideas for, and he would often add ideas to things we wanted to do. And there was a scene in the film where we go to his, what was it, your 30...
Yeah, it's the high school reunion.
high school reunion.
Oh, that's a
And
trip.
we didn't know till the end of the shooting day. We were done. We were like eating a meal, and Sid's like, "Well, my high school reunion's tonight." And you're like, "Well, Sid, I
Yeah,
guess we're getting in the car and going then." And Sid was just like, "All right, time to go to my high school reunion." And it's a great part of the film, and it really contrasts and shows people.
Yeah, it's
who
not
Sid
the Green
really
Mill.
is.
I mean, the high school reunion.
No, yeah.
No, it's not a performance. It's not the Green Mill or Sid's apartment. How did you come up with the narrative? I mean, when did you decide on the narrative? And was it a collaborative thing with you two, Sid? Or did you just give them carte blanche here?
I just gave him, whatever. I listened to Ryan, and he's one of the few guys I actually listen to.
Well, fortunately for us, Sid's 50th birthday was coming up in December, so we had the perfect kind of vehicle to structure the film. So from the beginning, we knew that it was, just kind of sit back and watch as Sid comes to terms with, his life, his performance art, in the run-up to his 50th birthday.
Well, the interesting thing, I'm going to play almost a 4-minute clip. I'm going to play the first 4 minutes after we take a commercial break. You have that wonderful symmetry with he doing a performance over the telephone for his mother in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a special moment. And we wanted to start the film with kind of a birthday moment and, eventually finish the film, kind of create a whole movement, if you will. And Sid was, really helpful in kind of crafting the film along the way.
In just watching him on the internet, Ryan Buckley and Zach Mehrbach, you don't really get the full... He seems on all the internet stuff I've seen, wow, here's an interesting kind of maybe really kooky, unusual performer, but in meeting him, you get a different take, don't you? A much different take, actually.
Yeah, no, I would totally agree. His performance life is a bit different than his kind of personal life and tenor. And I think that kind of dissonance between the two makes him such an interesting person.
That's the great thing about film is, you have a performer on the internet in any capacity, and then you take them and make a film about them. You can look at their life in a more honest way and say, you know, there's a full rounded view, not just this is what they were in America's Got Talent or any of those.
Zach Mehrbach, that's exactly right. You know, I've known Sid for a long time, but seeing the film of him even gave me it's only 16-minute song, but a much more well-rounded. It's easy to take people as on, you know, one note. You know what I mean?
Especially nowadays in the world of the, you know, the
30-second YouTube clip,
or
yeah.
the
You know, Sid,
cinemagram or whatever, you know.
Yeah, well, you may be an internet sensation, but I think this film is a much more well-rounded. Ryan, what was the purpose of man? Was it for class or?
Yeah, actually,
Really?
I had a great professor over at Columbia College Chicago, and he just kind of, you know, led me down this path, and it's where I really kind of discovered my love of documentary filmmaking. I came to school to make, you know, narrative feature films, but ever since then, most of my work has been kind of concentrated in the doc arena.
Interesting. Exactly. You a Columbia kid too?
Yeah, I'm a graduate of the MFA program. I teach adjunct there now, and Dan Rybicki, we both had him as a teacher, and he's a Cartemplin filmmaker coming out with a movie called Almost There, and he inspired both Ryan and I greatly for our love of documentary.
I gotta believe, just in the way it's shot and the narrative of this film, it is among the best short films I've seen. Knowing Sid totally aside, I mean, the camera work I think is kind of extraordinary, so especially some of the stuff in the car is really extraordinary. We'll take a break with these Zach Mehrbach, Ryan Buckley, the director, editor, and cinematographer of, what's this film titled anyway?
Simply Sid Yiddish.
Oh, okay. It's simple. You don't have to get writers involved. You don't have to get any writers involved. And Sid Yiddish will be back here too after a short commercial break, and we will let you listen to. Can't see it, but we'll explain what's going on, and I think you'll get the gist of it, and then you can go watch the entire thing. WGN Morning News is Chicago's must-watch morning news. Monday's must-watch is hanging out at Robbie Gold's Celebrity Golf Outing. Watch WGN TV Morning News Monday. This is great, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, don't be silly. Don't be silly. No, I tell you, I could not have been more fresh.
I really appreciate it.
I thought we're proud of it, but then I was like, now we have to do it.
Oh, it's perfect. A little card for the film. Good work.
I got it. Okay. Okay. If you want to, Zach, I know. Anytime you want to.
Good, I'm good, ready to make the podcast. Rick, was there anything I should know how to get the voice like yours and when I'm, in a few years?
Thank you.
Do I drink the whiskey or smoking?
40 years of smoking and drinking, you have a fucking 2-hour radio.
Smoking, prostitution, and masturbation.
That's a great career path. You're a great cinematographer. What do you want to do this for?
I don't want to do this. I just want my voice to sound so I can,
So you get work narrating stuff.
Yeah.
We'll learn how to throat sing. That'll bring
I can learn, yeah, I can, yeah. Have you ever heard Sid throat sing?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Some milk and honey in there.
He's done throat singing. He's done throat singing live. He's the only person I'm sure ever to do throat singing live on WGN Morning Radio.
Oh, on WGN, yeah.
I saw a picture of the Yoko thing on the...
Oh, yeah, I did, I'm Tom, you know Tom Repetny.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's produced for Mancow. He got me on Mancow's show. So I've been doing Yoko Ono impersonations now. So it's pretty funny.
How's Mancow treating you? Okay.
He treats me fine. He
How do
doesn't
you
know
get along with him, Rick?
He does.
How do you get along? How do you get along with him?
Yeah.
Fine.
The way you said it, I thought maybe there's...
No. I wrote
He doesn't call me by my real name. He calls me Yoko.
And click on the CLR banner ad.
He's another, this generation of big-time radio stars who are now just working in the
taking a
fringes.
big toll on your
I don't
wallet.
get it.
Would you like to have dental insurance, but think it's too expensive?
What are you going to do with
If
this?
you answered yes to any of these questions, call
did you
Physicians
present it at
Mutual
class,
Insurance
or-
Company for
We
free
did
information.
back in...
See how you
yeah,
can help
it wasn't
protect your
finished when we
teeth
first
and your
presented.
wallet for less than $1
And that's
a day.
another story altogether. We
1-800-900-9981.
shot
You two collaborate on other things.
Me and Ryan, yeah.
This is
yeah.
kind of
Most-
not-
a lot
yeah.
of-
that can help cover
We
over
need to do more.
300
Is
procedures,
where
all
that's
the
going.
ones
But,
you're most likely to need.
we shot
Everything
the film in
from cleanings and
2011
fillings to
Yeah.
crowns and dentures.
and didn't
Your
actually
acceptance is
finish it
guarantee
until
for one of these
December
insurance policies.
2013.
Even if you're retired or on
Kind of a
Medicare.
promise that he
You can
would
see any
get it
dentist
done
you
by
choose,
my
and you'll
52nd
never pay a
birthday and his
deductible.
30th birthday.
Call
We
in the
both,
next 10 minutes.
Zach and I
Yeah.
share birthdays.
We're the same birthday.
Same birthday.
All the details.
Stand by.
900
We'll talk a little more about the movie,
That's
then we'll play that
1-800-900-9981.
for first moment.
1-800-900-9981.
The film, 16 minutes long, is simply titled Sid Yiddish, a la Citizen Kane.
Exactly.
It is
Oh,
the work
yeah,
of director
definitely.
and editor Ryan Buckley and cinematographer Zach Mehrbach, whose friend is a friend at the Tribune. And yesterday, she thought that I was accusing her of dropping a cup of coffee on the floor. I'm apologizing to her over the radio.
It's her birthday today, too.
It is?
Or-
Happy birthday. What's her name?
Mary Horan.
Mary Horan, happy birthday. I did not think you dropped the coffee on the floor. I just said, well, look what some blank did here. So we're in the clear. Come see me the next time you're in the office. The movie was done for class. It was shot in 2011. It was presented to your class when?
At the same time, December 2011.
Did you get an A, or do you get graded on these things, or how does that work?
I got an A in the class, yeah.
Did you? What was the feedback from your teacher?
He loved it. You know, he loved where I was going. It wasn't, unfortunately, finished at the time because we had yet to shoot the final scene. Sid's birthday party was actually forthcoming when we screened it. But it's taken us basically 2 years to get the film together just because of our
And
schedules.
is this kind of for you two guys? I don't know what it's going to do for you, Sid, but for you two young guys, is this a reel that you can use kind of, you know, to show Steve James and at Kartemkin and to say this is our work? Is it valuable to you guys in that method?
The filmmaking landscape is tough, especially with shorts, because there's not a financial market for it per se. So a lot of short films, they can get distribution, but it's not often like you see with features where a lot of money's getting sent. So you
Sure.
send it out to festivals, you put it online, you try to gain exposure, you show it to people who want you to do jobs for them. So you can say, hey, I shot this documentary, I directed this. So it's kind of a rolling roller coaster of trying to get more work.
Yeah, well, I think it should deserve attention, and we'll post it on our website. Courtney will post it, and you can watch the whole thing. But here, for your listening pleasure, I'm sorry you can't see it on the radio, but it begins with the first 4 minutes, or I'll give you a rough version. It's going to sit on America's Got Talent, and then he does a poetry reading as a very young guy, some old clip of you at some festival somewhere. Then he's at the Green Mill talking about a piece he wants to do, especially for his mom, and then he talks to his mom on the phone. So here you go. Here's Sid Yiddish.
Who are you? Hi, my name is Sid Yiddish. And what is your accent? I'm going to sing an original Tuban ballad. Sid Yiddish, this is your moment.
I want to be surprised for my birthday. That's what I want. I want a big sheet cake with Hello Kitty's picture on it. 50 candles, maybe 51 for good luck. I also want to make sure I've got enough breath to blow it all out.
Welcome back. We have a poet here to speak to you next.
Did you have either of your last?
His name is Charles Bernstein.
You still have that?
I found it.
Wow.
Did you have either of your last two birthdays at the multicultural?
My name is Charles
Or
Bernstein.
do you have them there every year, or what do you?
No, it was just for that, because I put a show together. It was like it was a
For the big-
retrospective.
yeah.
No, it was a retrospective of my work.
Yeah, yeah. I remember you had all the bands. You still into Hello Kitty?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Every time I see Hello Kitty, I think of you.
People get me stuff.
It's never ending.
Hey, Sid,
Yeah.
how old were you in that clip?
That was 49. 40. You mean for America's Got Talent?
No, when you were on. When you were on
Hey, Neil,
on stage
I need
reading
you
that
right now.
poem,
I'm
Charles
sorry.
Bernstein.
Oh, that was
That's all we need you.
91. Wow. That was 91.
Just so we can go over some new signals, that's
So you
all.
were 30?
Okay, so here's the basics.
That would have been
And just
about.
forgive my
No, that
voice,
was
okay?
91.
I'm
So,
gonna do
yeah,
this.
about 29. About
Skip.
29.
Skip. I want you to play that note. Stop suddenly.
Yeah,
play
about
it again.
29.
Stop
About
suddenly.
your age.
Play it again, like a skipping of a record. Okay?
Yeah, maybe Jesse's age.
Right. So I'm
No,
gonna
she's
do
like
this.
17.
She's a kid.
Right. Oh,
Oh, she's
that's
le-
another
she's legal.
inspiration right there. I want you to
That's
sound
right.
like a
Yeah,
real,
she's legal.
actually real orchestra for a change, not crazy like you usually do.
You have to tell Mary.
Well, they never show up on time. That's another thing that happens. They never show up on
Ryan.
time.
You can mention the website.
Yeah, I
And
should
put the
put a
film
link
up
to
on
the
the
film on
website.
the website. That would be
Give it
smart
to my
to
mom.
do.
She turned 78.
Here.
No, if I put a link to the,
And
we have a
Scott's
website for the
happy,
film,
but not here.
but the film's not linked from it, so
Oh,
that's an
okay.
issue.
Well, Courtney will put it up by tomorrow or Tuesday.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay. Well, this is a piece entitled 78.
Because she was 78 years old.
Huh?
She was 78 years old. She just turned 78, so I figure it's like birthdays are like
Yeah.
the revolution.
You're gonna have to get that clip from Mary. I'm gonna put some soundbite.
I wonder if she's listening. She'll probably. I'll give her a call after and see if she.
Sid, your mom still alive?
Of course she is. She just turned 80. She'll be 81 in...
Nothing like this has been heard on this fucking station. But that's fine.
We just did Maxwell Street today, too.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, they didn't
Well,
like
what's
us.
left
They
of
didn't
it.
like us. Yeah, they didn't like us. That's nothing new.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
What did I think? Oh, that's what you told your mom. We're still talking there. What did your mom think? Did she love it?
Yeah, she did. She absolutely did.
What does she think? And just, I know your brother. What does she think of your career? I don't know your mom.
Well, she just thinks it's great, everything that, all the strides that I'm making.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Have you met? Did you meet Sid's mom?
No,
Filmmakers?
no, unfortunately not. His mom's out in Arizona, so she was tough to get
You're
to.
struggling young filmmakers. You're
Exactly,
about to
yeah.
fly out to Arizona just to meet someone's mom.
Yeah.
Sid, what's the future hold for you? When do you graduate? What are you going to do with that degree?
Teach, I hope. But actually, I'm thinking about going for my PhD after that. So, but I want to teach with that.
How do you make money?
It's not
It's
easy.
got to be tough.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's really got to be tough. It's also got to be tough for you two guys too, Zach Mehrbach, cinematographer, and Ryan Buckley, director and editor. I mean, Gordon Quinn and Steve James started, doing their thing a long time ago as young men too. Do you aspire to that? I mean, those the kind of, I get the sense that seems to be what you would like to do.
Yeah, I mean, you go to film school as a graduate school not to help other people make films, that you want to make your own work.
Yeah.
And that's really what I enjoy doing is being a creator and being that kind of artist who can, in somewhat of, I guess, of a narcissistic way, control the art that is film. So
Well, but
eventually,
I think there's nothing wrong with being narcissistic. 'Cause every artist is narcissistic. Every newspaper guys are worse than anybody. But with the notion of making feature films, are you drawn? That Kartemkin has a big pull, I would think, for young filmmakers here. Just not just seeing their success, but seeing their kind of creative freedom.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually interned at Kartemquin, so kind of got my my beak wet there. And they kind of helped me fall in love with the form, and everyone over there is super supportive of young filmmakers like us. And I've got nothing but great things to say about those guys and the films they make, and the their mission to generate social change through cinema is something that resonates with me, definitely.
And what about having spent so much time with Sid, you two young men, and getting to know him on what I think is a pretty intimate level? Are you guys friends for life? What do you think?
I would say yes. We've stayed in touch since we started filming, and I hope we stay in touch for a lot longer. And his career is going to continue to blossom as hopefully ours are, and we'll hopefully get to bigger and better places together.
It's hard not to like someone like Sid who is so honest, and every time you see them, there's not an ounce of him that isn't just there and present in the moment with you. So I think every time he makes everyone feel welcome, and he's a friend for life for sure.
Yeah, in his way, he is very inspiring. There's no question about it. What's going on? Oh, maybe Steve James, maybe Hollywood's calling.
That would be nice.
Maybe Hollywood's calling.
It's America's Got Talent. They want it back.
Could you ever see yourselves making a feature-length film about this character between you now? I mean, is it 16 minutes, and why 16 minutes? I mean, why you must have had. How much did you shoot?
God, we probably shot 20, 30 hours of footage.
Yeah, I mean the documentaries, the ratio of footage shot to actual used can be quite high, but
and we went out and we shot a lot of shows with Sid, but it just we didn't kind of aspire to some sort of time limit. We just let the material do the work, and that's where we kind of washed out.
I got to tell you, I think it's a fabulous film. At 16 minutes or whatever, to me it need not have a time. It tells a story about someone I know in a way, in a lot more depth than I knew you, Sid. So do you feel like a movie star now, or you're just an internet? You can't get off this internet star kick. I know you're an internet star.
Oh yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, actually, I sort of feel that way, but not really. I guess I'll see it when the residuals start coming in.
Sid says he's big in Europe. I think we just got to get it released on whatever the Europe channels are.
Whatever you three people do, you've got to keep me posted. It's a pleasure to meet you two young filmmakers. Tell that kid that I wasn't yelling at her for the coffee. And Sid, it really is an ongoing pleasure to watch you grow and change. And you are the real deal, man. You're an honest human being, and you're following your own.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rick. I
Welcome.
appreciate that.
You're very, very welcome. Best to the family. You talked to Arnie or not? Okay. If you do, best to your brother. Best to your brother. Thanks a million, fellas. And we'll link this up, and you'll get a bunch more viewers, and then you will feel like a movie star. Listen every weekday morning at 7:20 for your chance to win our daily $720 money clip on Chicago's very own 720 WGN. Here with the news brought to you by Seattle Sutton's Healthy Eating is Bob Kessler.
On a CTA bus on the west side this morning, one man slashed
I
another
thought
man
that was
in
really
his
fun.
60s.
Yeah, and I thought it was really good. What did you think?
I thought it was great.
I thought it was great, and I really do. I'm not kidding you. That film is really, really good. Don't be silly. Keep in touch.
The person went missing in the water after a boat.